Happy Friday. Allow me to ask for a very big sorry to all of you guys. I said I'll be doing live on YouTube, but there are technical problems I cannot control. So I'll just do it here and then upload this video once I'm done on YouTube again, so that those who have missed it can also go back and watch the YouTube live. I'm sorry, the Facebook live I did today. Anyways, before we proceed, I really would like to say this piece, or ask how's everybody doing, especially the ones who are directly affected by the Taal volcano eruption. We really hope and pray that this will be over, and I really pray that the Taal volcano has come down and has decided not to erupt fully, not in our time, in our lifetime, with God's grace and mercy, because we cannot do anything. We're humans, we're bound to be too weak, so only God can really help us with this. But before I proceed, I have to switch on my laptop. I forgot. Can you hold on? I'm your multitasker. What can I say? So that's about. It's really sad. It's really sad. It's a saddening thing that it's not a laughing stock, and I see a lot of comments about it. There are also opportunists who are taking advantage of the situation. Please be mindful and please be very careful who you're going to help. I mean, to whom are you going to share your help with? Just approach the right channels. Like, for example, there are networks, the TV networks or establishments that you feel like it's trustworthy. You can entrust your money and donations, whatever that you feel like sharing. Don't just give your money to anyone who's saying we're from like this and we're from like that, we need help. We know that a lot of people needs our help or assistance, but I think it's also right that we do it in the right channel, in the proper channel, so that your help, a little amount or whatever it is that you're going to share, will really go directly to those people who are really affected by this calamity. Again, I urge everyone, no matter what kind of religion you may be, this is the time for us to really be humble and ask for God's mercy and really help us in this time of trouble or calamity, as we may see. And really right now, we pray that the volcano would consistently and continuously come down. And I really pray last Sunday, that's the final eruption that it has. So we cannot predict anything, and we cannot blame FIVOX from not informing us. Although we have to say that they really did a great job. It may not be 100% perfect, but at least with God's help, walang nasawi, no life has been spared, or because of being careless or not really doing their jobs. We salute them. It is really a very difficult task for them to do, because I love watching documentaries. And since it's the volcano eruption, so I looked into some of the National Geographic documentaries. I love watching these kinds of documentaries. And even those who are experienced volcanologists, seismologists, they themselves, no matter. Hi, Miss Norishel, I hope you are doing fine, and keep the faith. We all are experiencing it. It may be a different level of experience now from your end, because you are really directly from that place. May awa ang Diyos. That's the only thing that we can really hold on to. May awa ang Diyos, God's mercy. This is not really something that we really have to say, okay lang yan. It's not really okay, because it's the life, the livelihood as well is also greatly affected. And let's really unite with prayers, because as the Bible says, prayers can move mountains. So I believe that God will listen to us if your heart is really clean, and if you are very you really are asking it from your heart. So That's the only best thing we can do right now. No matter how much money we can collect and give into people who are really in need, but then again, the power of prayers can really do a lot. So I encourage not just only this is the problem. We only remember these things of calling and thanking God for everything whenever we just need it. Let it be a habit for everyone. No matter what situation you may be, always think and say our prayers, be thankful, be grateful, so that you know, he'll never forget about us. Sometimes it's also a sign that he's awakening us, because maybe we are too busy with things that are not supposed to be, and we are forgetting him instead of making him the number one top of our list. Sometimes we tend to put him on the second, on the third, or at the bottom. So let's put him always on top of the list as a priority in our lives. We owe everything to him, like what I always say. We did not bring anything in this world when we existed. So let's offer all of our thanksgiving to him, everything that we can give back to him, because he's the master of our lives. So that's all I can really say. No matter how rich we are, your rich, your money can't do anything. After all, we are just 6 feet deep. So let's just be generous to everyone, especially those who can really provide assistance in terms of monetary, in terms of whatever they can do. So we can only do so much, but then again, at the end of the day, it's always God who will say, "This is what we want. That this is what He wants." Okay? So then, like, this is something that I just want to share. I did not go on live because I don't want to be like a wannabe thing and dipping into the situation, just like what I read from Miss Narishel's Facebook post the other day. I really feel sad about those situations wherein you have to talk about the topic because it's something that is trending. It's something that you feel like if you talk about it, it will also help you become famous. Being famous and being infamous are two different things. I want to be famous because I want to be famous in a good way. I don't want to be famous because I was doing this or I did this. So I don't want to be infamous. With God's help, I don't want to be like that. Miss Norish, thank you, Miss Tinias, for now. All is well pa naman. I'm keeping my faith. We'll be traveling to Las Piñas by Sunday. It's okay. I mean, we Filipinos are very hospitable. So I believe the person you're living with right now, kamag-anak or friend, they would really understand the situation. And for all you know, they're wholeheartedly for sure is doing this because this is the only thing that they can also do to help you. So just be open, just be open to them. Tell them that you are not you don't want to be in that situation. And let's put it this way. If they're also the ones in that situation, I'm sure you will open your house to them. So don't feel that way. This is a situation that sometimes we have to eat our pride or to take our prides in. And I don't think that person you're staying with will be thinking that you're pabigat or a burden to them. So just let them feel that you're also doing your part. Share probably. I know probably you know what you're supposed to do, and I will not tell you that because it's going to be insensitive of me. Definitely this person where you're staying with will definitely understand your situation, your family situation. So just open up to them. They probably wouldn't want for you to leave, for all you know. Unless the situation is different, then probably there's reason. But if everything is doing well, but just because nahihiya ka, I think it's not also smart to keep moving. So stay put where you are. So, and if I may, are you still working? How's your working condition? I mean, since your office is also based in Batangas. I'm talking to one of the members of the community who is also who were asked to evacuate. They're from Lemery, Batangas. So her name is Norishal Ann. Any help, again, if you want to help, put it in the right channel. I don't want to use our platform to be a way of asking donations. remember we did that with the bushfire, but it's not under me. We connected it with the Australian Red Cross. So if that's the case, there's Philippine Red Cross where we can also donate, where we can also share. If you know ang dating daan, we also accept donations in all our localities. If you're familiar with it, just go to our localities wherever you are, whatever place you are. And if you feel like may malapit na, if there's a nearby local of ang dating daan, just tell them that you're willing to share, because we're also doing the donation thing. We are encouraging our members, or we as a member of the church, we are inviting those who wants to share, and you can also put it there, or UNTV. But you can, if you're in Quezon City, you can also go to UNTV. So that's the list that we can do as a member of the Church of God, which is ang dating daan. Everybody knows it as ang dating daan. Good morning, Mrs. Yeah, today we have a topic, but prior to discussing the topic, I just want to say a very heartwarming. It's really sad. It's a sad thing for us to experience this. Even us here in Laguna, I think everywhere else, we all experience the ash fall. And according to FIVOX, right now the volcano has calmed down, but it doesn't mean that it has already stopped. It's not, but at least it's still in alert level 4. But prayerfully, again, this is the best thing we can all do. Let's not be selfish. Let's not just think, oh, I'm not affected with this, that's fine. No, we have to understand how everybody is feeling. In our place, in my house, we're all sealed up because the dust is so, it's really it's really amazing. I mean, when you go out of the house, you really have to cover your face, not just your nose. So it's too dusty. And again, we Filipinos were very strong. You know, with God's mercy, we believe we can do this. Okay, just don't forget Him. Let Him be the number one priority in our lives. When you wake up, say your grace. Before you sleep, thank Him for the whole day, for the life that He's been giving us, for the blessings that we receive, no matter how big or small, or even if if He hasn't given it to us yet, be thankful. There's a reason why He's not giving that to us yet. I just have to fix my hair. You know, my hair is also feeling the calamity. Pardon me. All right, so again, I urge everybody, if you want to share and donate, just go to the right channels, the television networks, Red Cross. You can also go to Ang Dating Daan or UNTV, so that you know for sure that your donations will go to the right people. Okay, so moving forward, I just want to inform everybody that with our family, we're okay. And I pray that majority of the members here are okay, except for those who are really living or residing in Batangas. And I'm thankful that Miss Norishal has left, because the first night it erupted, I messaged her. And did I not, Miss Norishal? I asked, how are you there? And she said, it's fine, because the wind that's throwing the ash fall is going to our direction, which is the Laguna side, the Metro Manila side. And then I think the following day, the wind has changed and it went to their side, which is the Lemery side. Am I right, Miss Norishal? So that's what happened. So when they felt that, and the shake was it's really intensive already, then I think they already felt that they really need to leave and evacuate. Oh, really? Thank you. I'm just using and probably the electric fan is not bothering me. Okay, let's proceed now with the topic. Our topic for today is resume writing. I think I've already discussed this before, but then again, I'm not an expert. That's a disclaimer. I'm not an expert in terms of resume writing, but due to experience, due to what I have gone through, Miss Norishal just agreed to what I said, that I texted her immediately because we just arrived from church that night. And then when we saw that there's ash fall, the first person I thought messaging was you, Miss Norishal, because I and Miss Riza, but I wasn't able to message Miss Riza because I don't have. Why did I message Miss Riza? Sorry, Miss Riza. The first person who popped out in my head was Miss Norishel. So I just messaged her, and then eventually I posted something on the wall here in this community. So I really pray Miss Norishel, Miss Riza, and everybody else who are residing in Batangas are okay. I know it's hard to live in an evacuation center. I may not have experienced it, and nobody wants to experience it. So let's just pray that they're being treated well, whatever it is that they need. I believe that the government is trying their very best. If you're going to compare this situation to what happened in Leyte, I can say this is at least 95% of a big difference from what the people from Tacloban has experienced. To say the least, Tacloban has enough time to really prepare because there was an exact time of the typhoon that they're expecting to arrive. But in this case, FIVOX did a very good job. They were not aware of the exact time of the eruption. But I believe the entire Batangas was already aware that during March 2019, they've been constantly being informed by FIFOX that this might happen. Although it's really focused in Batangas because they're the nearest one. So I think we should not blame other people and put fingers on it because we can all see no one got hurt. All the animals was not all animals, but at least majority of the animals were rescued. That's right. You have to do first the living, which is us. I mean, the animals, yes, they're living creatures. But then again, who's the priority? Are we going to bring out all the animals and you left behind? Of course, it's not that way. We have to prioritize first the people, and then at least God gave the opportunity for them to go back and collect their animals and put them in a safe place. I'm not there. I'm just saying this based on the news reports that I'm also hearing, but I'm not saying why did you do that? Why? There's only thing you can only do so much with the number of people who resides in Batangas. Are you going to prioritize the animals first versus the people? So we have to be very sensitive on what we say. So I feel Miss Norishel when she posted that on her wall. Sometimes, you feel like you know so much, and that type of arrogance in yourself brings you to not very helpful at all. So if you have nothing to say, I guess just keep your mouth shut and do what you can do. I think that's the best that we can share and we can do as a Filipino, as a Christian person. Okay, so today let's now discuss the topic because I have been seeing a lot of not newbies alone. It's not just the newbies, even experienced people is doing this. I also included. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I am not an expert in this, but at least through experience and through time, I tend to understand, okay, these are the mistakes I have done over time. So now if you want to really improve and enhance the type of work that you want to work with, and if you want to shift from a position, let's say you're a sales manager now, and then eventually you want to be a social media manager, that's for you, Ms. Norishel. All the love for the Batangas residents. We feel you, and again, if I can only hug you, I will. We are the same size, so we can feel the love. So hugs and kisses for the Batangas members here. Okay. Don't make me cry. Alam niyo, mababaw luha ko. Then napuwing lang ako. When you're a mother, that sometimes it's really hard, especially if you're thinking of your kids in the situation. So again, just kneel down and say, we need you. This is the time that we really have to think. I can't go back. Prioritization. Let's put him first above all. So sometimes we tend to forget that. I'm not saying the Batangas people have forgotten it. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is for all of us, because we're so busy, sometimes we tend to forget, oh, you should be the first one who should always say thank for. We always have to thank for. Yeah, the people around you are helping you. You have to thank them, but then again, God make these people to move, so it's always going back to Him. Thank Him for making these people move to do these actions, to help, to share, to pray for people. So it's not really a wonderful New Year start, but then again, there are a lot of reasons why these things are happening, and we cannot question God why this is happening. We know that this will happen because it's an active volcano. It's just that we don't know when it will actually happen. So that's scientific. Okay, let me just clean my glasses. Napuwing ako. Denial. All right, there I can see perfectly. Okay, now going back to the business side of it. Now, for those people who are trying to submit resume and use their resume over and over again, this is something that is very important. Again, my disclaimer, I am not an expert on resume writing, but I just want to share with you what I have learned and what I have experienced so that you can also try to rectify what you're trying to do or what you're doing as of this moment, and make sure that eventually when you try to submit your resume, you feel like you have done a great job. I did share a blog about this on our website. You can just go to our website and read some of the articles there that I have uploaded. I don't own any of the website. I'm just resharing it because I feel like it's an important part of knowledge and learning for all of those who wants to become a VA. So please visit our website. It's www.philippinehomebased.virtualassistant.com. Again, it's www Philippine Home-based virtualassistant.com. So it's all one word and small letters. Okay, go to the blog site and please read all of the blogs that we have there. It's going to be useful and helpful for those who are wanting to understand how to become or how to start a career as a VA. All right. So today the topic is how to write a resume. I'm not saying the word perfect because there's no such thing as a perfect. If it is a perfect resume, then it should be, whenever you try to submit it, it should always be you should always be receiving a call that they want to interview you. So I think the word perfect is always being used because of the clickbait, the marketing strategies of others. And I don't want to do that because I feel like it's misinformation or it's misinforming you. There's a way to really properly write your resume, but I think the word perfect is something that we should not be using because of the fact, again, based on the word perfect, there's no mistakes, right? But if you perfectly did that, well then and good. I mean, it's very rare that people can do perfectly, but we're humans, we tend to make mistakes. So I would rather use the word proper, how to write your resume properly. So if you are a newbie, no matter what situation you are, if you're a college graduate or if you're from whatever position and then you want to transition as a home-based professional or a virtual assistant, then your resume is the number one key for you to be able to be given that opportunity to be invited for an interview, to get to know you, to get to understand why you're trying to apply for a particular position from home-based. I'm talking about home-based, okay? But it can also be helpful for those who doesn't want to start a career from home, but then they want to submit their resume through probably companies like, Palmolive or Unilever, whatever it is, multimedia companies here in the Philippines. This is also going to be helpful for you. Resume writing is something that is very crucial. It can make you or break you. So you have to understand that it's not just a piece of paper putting your information. Information is okay. For example, putting your name, of course, that's the first one because they wouldn't know who you are. Putting your name is very important. Adding your contact details like your mobile, your email. But I think the entire and the complete address, your home address, should no longer be included because these are information that, you know, there's a policy or a law about privacy information, right? So you just have to be very careful of providing that. So just put, for example, you're from Makati, just put Makati City. So at least they have an idea where you're coming from. If you're applying from not as a home-based, what do you call this, position, or rather, you're going to apply as an office-based work. So if you're going to do that, just put Makati. Now, if you're from home base, just put that as well. If you're from Batangas, then put from Batangas City. Just don't put the word from. Just say Batangas City. Why? Because they really don't need the exact address. They only need to find out where are you from. So the reason for that, if you're working, if you're applying for an office base, they just want to know if you're from Batangas and you're applying in Makati, they just want to see how far you're going to commute or travel to and fro your work. Is it smart for you to accept the work or for them to offer you the work where in fact you're not going to earn too much? So if you see the importance of it, it will probably give them the idea, are you the right person for this first year so far? You might come in always late. So these are the things they're already thinking. So if you're going to apply for a position, make sure that this type of question will also be properly answered when it is asked of you. So if you're living in Batangas and you're going to apply in Makati, how are you going to answer that your distance, how long are you going to travel to and fro? Let's say it's 3 hours every day. So that alone will be a big question for the company who might hire you. They might be thinking negatively of it because of the distance of your place. So you have to be ready with an answer. Let's say, I live in Batangas, but I stay with a relative here in Makati because of the reason that I want to work in Makati, and it's not really a smart move for me to go back and forth from Batangas to Makati if I'm going to work here. So be ready with that. At least they can see, okay, so your residency is Batangas, but then you're staying here because of the fact that you want to relocate because of the work. Now, if you're working or applying as a home-based professional, this information is also important. Why? Because the companies or the staffing agencies would like to see the strength of the internet connection with that area. For example, you live in Davao. We're specifically in Davao. Is it a far-flung, is it a city in Davao? Is it the provincial side of Davao, I mean from the inner lane of Davao? So they need to understand where exactly in Davao because they want to see what's the strength of internet there. If you notice, whenever you apply for a job as a home-based professional, they would always ask you for your internet, what do you call that? The speed, the internet, your internet connectivity speed, because of the fact that we will really rely on our speed whenever we're working. So if your internet is not really good, so that's one area that you may not be able to say that you're fit for this position. So I'm not saying you're already not a fit for this position. Requirement if you really want to work home-based. So you have to make a way, if you really want to work from home, you have to make sure that your internet connectivity is really great and the speed is really fast, and there's no issue of always being disconnected and whatsoever, because it will ruin your work from home, your home-based work. Of course, they want to know that you can be reliable. They want to make sure that you can always work on time. There's no issues about internet. The mere fact that people who lives in the city has already problems with internet connectivity, and here you live in a far-flung place where your connection is not really strong, then that's going to be an issue. So I hope you understand the importance of putting the place where you reside for either both office-based or home-based. Now, after that, when you've already put your or added your information, your contact details, your name, make sure that the spelling is correct. Okay, sometimes because we're thinking that it's just us, that we're writing about us, we feel like it's just me. You're not so attentive to details. So try to avoid that. Make sure that you go through it, read it. You can use an app or a tool or a software that can guide you that you're spelling it wrong. So there are a lot of and tons of software. You just have to be smart, and you just have to be creative and use your researching skills. Okay, so don't just rely on asking. Do your part. It's not always that there are people who will always be there to answer your questions. Google. Make Google your best friend. Okay. So after that, of course, you'll talk about this is always the thing that people would always put in the resume, which also I myself, I did this over and over again. The objective. Okay. The objective, your objective of why you want to apply for this position. That's objective, but that's actually wrong. Objective must have a specific. Okay, objective. I want to lose 10 pounds of my weight within a month. Objective, because you want to lose 10 pounds within a month. It should be a goal or a vision, probably. So you're not using the word objective, and that's already a passé. Okay, you have to market yourself in a way that you're saying, for example, Maria Dolores Garner Florentino, a virtual assistant assisting blah, 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 blah. It's something that you've already been doing. It's something that you can do. It's something that you have somehow accomplished. A small or a short description of what or who you are, what you are, and why, your mission and your vision. It somehow should be like that. So avoid putting the word objective, because that's not, it's a Jurassic era. And it's even wrong because, again, objective has to have a specific information. If it is a goal, I want to lose weight. That's an example. My goal is to lose weight. My objective, I want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months or 1 month. So there's a specific measurable. Okay, so we are using the word objective very wrongfully, and you cannot even support it. So once you claim something, make sure you can always support it with an evidence. So if you say Maria Dolores Garner Florentino, and a content writer for 10 years experience, writing from different publicities whatsoever, it should be short and brief. So from there, they can get an idea who this person is. All right. So it's more of a branding thing, but since this is a resume, so you have to have a little bit of a what do you call that? A context that they would understand what you're trying to say. So remove the word objective, showcase what you can do, showcase what you have accomplished. Probably if you can say, I have worked 15 years in multinational companies such as, and considering myself to be improving, whatever, it should be something that they want to see that you're growing in terms of career move or career growth. Why are you shifting from a different position to this position? You should also be including it there, because that's the best way, that the first thing that the hiring manager can see, because it's your information and then that part. Okay. And hold on. And then again, after that, now you put your content of your work experience. Okay. Always highlight your work experience first. Your educational, those things, the educational background, blah blah blah. That can be the last part, because it's not really that. I'm not saying it's not important. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not important. It's something that they would look. Now, there's a big difference when you're working from the office based or applying for an office based position. This is very important to them. But when you're applying as a home based professional, sometimes that type of questions, or did you graduate, is not really a question. It's not really a highlight of the question. It can be a support to what you can do. Like, let's say, I'm a graphic designer. Where did you get your experience? How did you acquire the experience? You graduated as a graphic designer from what school? That's just something. But it's best if you're working from, if you're going to apply as a home base, it will be best if you have acquired certification of different trainings that you have gone through in order for you to really um, excel in what you do. So the term of the educational thing, work you graduated, sometimes it's not really a uh, a thing that they're looking right now, no. But for the office space, that is something that they're looking into. What school did you came from, and is it a nice school? So there's somehow, it's sad to say, but I believe there's a discrimination on that part. But then again, not all. Okay, says Ocampo. Yes, also omit na din unnecessary personal data. Yes, exactly. These informations like the religion, marital status, hobbies, this can be added when you are given the opportunity. For example, the preliminary screening, your resume fits rightfully for the position because you've given them the right information they need to see, and then they would ask you to for another schedule. For office based, they will ask you to come to their office for a preliminary interview or an interview. First step of their interview, they will ask you to fill out an application form, right? For home based, they will be giving you a form already. During the time that you're applying, there will be tons of information that you're already going to fill out online, and probably they will be asking this. But somehow, working from home, I've never experienced these questions, but there are. Okay, so that's the only time that you put it. But in your resume, as much as possible, it's just going to be one short or A4 size of your resume, and it's already there. Okay, I will tell you what kind of resume you can use right later on. So Miss Sass is correct. These are the types of, it will just add up into your information that it's not really vital. It's not something that they need right away. Okay, so you have to be very smart when you're writing it, because you have to showcase why they should choose you for that position. It's not because you want to put it because just to put something in your resume because you have nothing to put. And this is crucial for those who are a fresh graduate, but we will help you with that. I will help you with that. So stay put, okay? Now, for those who are writing their experiences, work experience, if you're going to highlight your work experience, make sure that it's from the latest position. Now, if you're still working for that particular position, this is very common for those who are working in the office-based. They will put that they're still working with that position until present, right? Now, why are you applying? They normally would say, I want to have a growth or career growth. Sometimes that is the wrong move to do. You have to be very careful what to say whenever you are still whenever you're still working, and you are still in that position. There should be a perfect reason. Again, sorry for the word perfect. There should be the right reason for you to explain why are you already trying to find a position where in fact you're still working. Okay, so like for example, the reason you want to leave your present work is because probably the distance of your place, that's valid from this place to this place, or probably when you were working before or when you accepted the job before, the office is based in this.